What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today, with this data download, we actually had some pretty interesting information in regards to an upcoming Super Evolution character. And this is a character that I've been pushing for quite a while, and we finally get access to the Super Evolution of Guild TESORO. I'm so pumped to talk about him today, but before we actually jump into the super evolved version of the character, we need to discuss what this character does prior to it, so you guys know exactly what is being updated here. The TESORO you're having a look at here is with the expansion, because this character, or not expansion should I say, level limit break, he does have this level limit break buff, which does make him quite a bit better. I suppose we can go ahead and have a look at the old school TESORO so you guys can see what exactly the old version did. So this character said that you need to have one of every class on your crew: fighter, slasher, striker, shooter, free spirit driven, cerebral, powerhouse. Then you get a 3.75 attack, 1.35 HP, slightly boost the chances of landing a matching slot, and then boost the attack for all characters by 4.5 after you hit 4 greats in a row. And then if you hit a perfect during the time you use him as a captain, your attack multiplier is actually reduced. So this is a very bizarre captain ability. Having to have one of every class in the crew obviously is not easy to do. It's very hard to team build with that. And then you only get a pretty mediocre boost of attack and HP. You do get slightly higher chance of landing a matching slot, and then you have to continuously hit greats in order to actually do good damage with this character. So yeah, this character is a pretty bizarre unit overall. They ended up buffing this character with his level limit break. And also, I believe with the expansion, he did get a slight buff as well. So now he'll actually go ahead and give you 2.5 times berries when you complete a quest. Then boost cruise attack by 5x, HP by 1.35, boost chance of landing a matching slot, boost cruise attack by 5.5 after you hit 4 greats in a row, and then if you hit a perfect, it's going to reduce your cruise attack. But then he says you will if you have one of every class on the crew, then you will go ahead and resist 5 turns of special bind and 5 turns of special reverse. So they slightly altered the way that this character worked, where he'd always give you the attack boost, but then if you went out of your way to have one of every class, then you get a really neat addition on top of it of resisting special bind, special reverse. So I think this is definitely a better way to go about it. Even still, having one of every class on the crew, even as a more established player like myself, clearing content with it is not easy. It's really not, and especially because if you hit perfects, it reduces your attack. Obviously not a good thing. Let's talk about the original special. So the original special, 200k fixed damage to all enemies, top and bottom row slots are matching, and a 3.25 chain lock for 1 turn. That's pretty much it. Not a really, complex special, but it's not an awful special either. This is still definitely usable, but of course it actually gets a lot better when you add the level limit break on top of it. 500k fixed damage to all enemies, top and bottom row slots are matching, prevents top and bottom row slots from being changed until you hit a perfect, so it adds slot change impossible to the top and bottom row after he changes them, which is pretty neat. And then he gives you a 3.5 chain lock for 1 turn, and if you hit 4 greats in that turn, you get a 4 times chain lock in the turn after it. So not only this helps him when you use him as a captain, but just using this as a sub is actually a pretty decent special, Being able to provide you with so much damage here is really solid. But I'm really excited to talk about what this character is capable of doing with his super evolution. So without further ado, let's go ahead and have a look when we go ahead and attempt to evolve. You do need some specific skulls. Now, it is confirmed from Solaris that in order to receive this skull, you actually need to do up to 9 victories in the next Grand Party season. So I believe you get 1 win very early, and then you get a skull, and basically, once you reach 9 wins, you'll actually receive your 5th skull. So it is annoying that they gatekeep these Super Evolution skulls behind Grand Party, but what I will say is that getting to 9 victories on Grand Party, it isn't like the most difficult thing to do. It's usually after the 9th win is when things get super difficult, right? Because usually they give you lots of revives and attempts to trial something out. But yeah, it's still annoying that they gatekeep the skulls behind it, because not everyone is going to be able to do it, It's very annoying. But anyways, let's discuss what this character actually does. I will say the artwork is amazing. They've added voice lines to this version of TESORO as well as his current 6-star version, which I'm really happy about because he didn't have it prior to this. And Shiki was the same way. Shiki never had voice lines, but when they gave him his super evolution, they gave him voice lines. And I think that's really cool. And we still have Legend Zephyr, who doesn't have a super evolution, doesn't have voice in the game either. So they'll probably do that in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later. But the big thing is the fact that they've added a super type to this character. Like, what? So this is the first thing that we've ever seen in the game where a character super evolves and gains a super type. I believe this is the first character in the game to actually do this. So it gives us a little bit of hype, a little bit of hope and hype, I guess, moving forward into the future for them to give really cool buffs to other characters, right? So let's start talking about it. So the TESORO we're seeing here is the fully buffed version of TESORO. His captain ability doubles the amount of berries that you earn in a quest. I thought that was buffed actually a little bit more. No, okay, apparently it's not. Okay, I'm pretty sure I thought it was going to be 3 times berries, but it looks like it's only 2 times berries. It gives you -1 cooldown at the start of the quest. We love the cooldown. Boost the crew's attack by 5.25 and HP by 1.35. Boost crew's chance of landing a matching slot. Boost crew's attack by 5.75 after you land 3 greats in a row. That's not very hard to do. 5.75 is a much higher attack boost than what he had previously. But if you land a perfect, it does reduce your attack by 40%. So there is still that downside there. Kind of annoying. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish, you could just hit 3 greats and then continue to hit perfects for the rest of the run. I think that would be cool. And then it says, if the crew launches a special to set the chain multiplier, it extends the duration of it by 1 turn. So that's pretty neat. I don't know if that's really that useful. I know there's a couple of characters that have that ability. In my experience, it hasn't been a very useful ability, so it is what it is. And then if you have fighter, slasher, striker, shooter, free spirit driven, cerebral, and powerhouse on the crew, it will go ahead and resist 5 turns of special reverse and special bind. So it's not an amazing change. It's basically just higher numbers. You get -1 cooldown, and that's basically it. It's not an amazing change. It's just better numbers, right? So he's just a stronger captain to use. Now, if you do use him as a captain, you'll get access to his super type. And his super type ability states, for the condition, you need to have all of these other classes on the crew. So fighter, slasher, shooter, free spirit, cerebral, powerhouse. Basically, it's all of them except for driven striker. And TESORO is driven striker. So it's basically just have all the classes on your crew in order to activate it. And the super type effect changes the top and bottom row slots into rainbow slots. Pretty odd. And boost base attack by 800 for 1 turn and extends the duration of base attack boost by 1 turn, which includes the one that he has here. So it's basically 2 turn base attack buff, but if you already have a base attack buff on your crew, he still extends that by 1 turn, and he gives quick characters super quick. So that's Guild TESORO for you. As a captain, pretty unique stuff. Odd that he changes the slots into rainbow, but it makes sense with his special, which says that if his own slot is a G, block, or a rainbow slot when you launch the special, it further increases your base attack by +500. So it means that you get a 1300 base attack boost with his super type and his special combination. And it's for 2 turns as well. Then it will go ahead and deal 500 times of 500,000 fixed damage to all enemies. Top and bottom row slots, including block, are changed into matching, so I like that they've added the block slot removal. Prevents the top and bottom row slots from being changed until you hit a perfect, so slot change impossible. And then it gives himself a 3.75 chain lock for 3 turns. That's pretty significant. And then if the crew lands 3 greats during that turn, increases the chain multiplier to 4.25 times. Wow, that's actually pretty sick. It says also increases the minimum chain value. So I believe, from what I'm reading here, is that you could activate a multi-turn chain boundary effect and then launch this guy's special. And what would happen is if you hit 3 greats in that following turn, the chain boundary that you have, let's say it's a 2.5 chain boundary, it now becomes a 4.25 chain boundary. That's pretty sick. That actually adds a lot. But even still, even if you're not doing that, you still get a 4.25 times chain in that following turn. So that's the best chain lock in the game, to my knowledge. And they haven't really changed a whole lot. They've just made him just slightly better, which I guess is all we could really hope for. I don't know if it's really going to make him more used in content. The numbers definitely help him out for sure. Getting access to super typing is interesting, but it's only for quick characters. It's hard for a character like this that actually wants to have like one of every class on the crew to make that actually useful. So look, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and talk about his Rumble stuff, because he's actually very, very good in Rumble. And it is unfortunate, but they actually haven't changed a whole lot with his Rumble stuff either, because this character was already amazing in Rumble. There wasn't really a lot there that they had to change, but he is slightly different. You can have a look at that sprite there. That's a lot different. He's no longer in his full golden suit form, which I do prefer this version of TESORO a bit better. So this character with his Rumble ability, he gives your whole crew level 5 CT increase, and then if his health is above 50%, then your whole crew gets 3 defense and 3 recovery. Now, prior to this, with his 6-star form, this was the exact same effect, except that there was no recovery boost. So with his super evolution, they've given him a recovery boost, which doesn't really help out in a lot of cases. A lot of time, this doesn't mean anything at all. So that's a bit disappointing they haven't changed this at all. And the special ability, it looks to be the same pretty much. It does a large range 3500 fixed damage, and then your teammates in a large range receive level 8 defense for 15 seconds. Prior to his evolution, it was level 7 defense. So again, not really a lot has changed here, just an extra defense level. I believe the range of his attack was the same. I think the damage was also the same too. So they really haven't changed a lot with this character, which is a little unfortunate because he kind of did deserve to have a lot more going on for him. I guess the fact that his Rumble ability does give a recovery boost to the crew is kind of interesting with his behavior pattern, because he does heal himself. So if you have higher recovery on TESORO, then he's going to be healing for a little bit more HP on himself. So it's going to make himself a little bit more tankier, but overall it doesn't help out your crew a whole lot. One thing that is kind of good though is that because of the super evolution, he does get slightly higher statistics, so I guess in that sense it does make him a better unit, but it's not a drastic change. So don't feel like you're missing out on too much if you don't get TESORO with his super evolution, because it's not that big of a change. But that's 6+ TESORO for you. I'm really excited because TESORO really deserved a 6+, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do with Zephyr now, because Zephyr's abilities are definitely on the lower tier scale. He needs a drastic buff, including his Rumble stuff too. So I'm pretty excited to see if they end up doing that in the near future, because he really needs it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about the super evolution of Guild TESORO. Do you guys enjoy this one? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.